We are Steve and Jill.
Together, we've been buying and reselling land since the 90s.
Our data-centric approach leaves our buyers asking, how can you sell it so cheap?
Here on the Land Academy Show,
We answer that and more. Steve and Jill here.
Howdy.
Welcome to the Land Academy Show, entertaining land investment talk. I'm Stephen Jack Butella.
And I'm Jill DeWitt, broadcasting from sweet Scottsdale, Arizona.
Oh, that's better.
I don't know. It just came out.
Today, Jill and I talk about self-discipline 101. It is not something you're born with. People think that.
Oh, I have a ton of it. I'm happy to share. Just kidding. Could you imagine?
Yeah, we'll use ourselves as examples. Before we get into it, let's take a question posted by one of our members on the landinvestors.com online community.
Sure.
It's free.
You
And
know.
if you're a Land Academy member, please join us on Discord.
Oh, I'm calmly going, no, just put down the cookie.
This is
I got this.
This is exactly what happened a half hour ago.
Right.
Jill, will you please turn your phone off?
Oh, yeah.
We need to record these shows because you're going to California tomorrow. We're not going to be in the same room. To her credit, she can't put her phone down because we've got a very successful mailer going on right now. And she's like, listen, man, you want to make money buying real estate today? Or do you want to record shows today? And I said, we need to record these shows. So you're going to have like 10 deals when we're done.
I know. The mail's hitting, and it's awesome.
It is. We got 3 properties out of this mailer already, and they're we'll
phenomenal.
6 digits on each of them. And I bet
And nobody's
there's
mad.
probably 10 more.
I'm really going to up my game, by the way. Side note, and we're totally off topic.
Yeah.
But I am going to work. I'm working on more content and to help everyone, because as time goes on, I'm getting better and I can really help everyone here with these phone calls coming in and winning them over in just a few sentences. So they want to sell to you and they're not mad.
Here's what I did on this mailer. It's a very low volume mailer, about 1,000 units ish. But I went in at about 60 to 80% of the retail value because I know the area very, very well. And I know that I was just explaining this to somebody on Discord. I know how fast they're going to sell. So think of it in houses from a housing standpoint. If you live in a neighborhood where there's a lot of similar houses and 3 of your neighbors sold like-kind houses really recently for $300,000, would you pay $250,000 for the house across the street?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
And that's, a pretty high percentage. That's 85% of retail value. So, because you're going to sell it really fast. And you know the neighborhood and you know the whole thing. So, people were pretty surprised that I was talking about this on Discord because there's always somebody in the group that says, oh my gosh, you've been telling us for 2 years to do it at 25%.
Exactly.
I said, you know what? It's not engraved in stone.
It's true.
Going into a new market, like we are still buying property from an old mailer.
Mm-hmm. I
in
got
the
a
center
couple
of the
hitting
country.
right now.
And we went in at 20% on that, and she's still buying property.
Yep. All right. Jason wrote, I have an accepted offer on a parcel in blank county. It's under $1,000. So it would be a self-closed situation. The owner, a deceased Canadian, left the property to his wife in their will.
Uh-oh.
I know. The property is deeded via quitclaim solely to the deceased husband. Oh, goodness. Which was inherited from his aunt.
If a train going
Oh my
100
God.
miles an hour leaves the station.
This is so awesome. And Jason, I get it. These things happen. And it's like, sheesh, how more taped together could this be? The wife, also in Canada, has their will listing her as the executor to the land. So the wife already is named as the executor. Does this property need to go through probate? Is the wife already considered to be the personal representative of the property and allowed to sign the deed over to me? Thanks all in advance. Jay.
Needs to go through probate.
Yeah.
And it's not worth it.
I'm sorry. Yeah, here's why. So technically, somebody owned it. They gave it to the aunt. They passed on because then the aunt inherited it. Then the aunt quitclaimed it to the husband. He passed on. The wife thinks, oh, because I'm left. It's almost like you're throwing a ball around a room. Like, oh, I got the ball. Now it's mine.
Yep.
Hold on a moment. The ball really goes back three people as far as, the county's concerned. So, yeah. So 2 things going on here. Number 1, Jason, I would say, or Jay, I would totally go through, they need to go back and probate this and get it done the right way. And if it was not a little property under $1,000, maybe we're talking $100,000 and you're going to make $80,000 or something. I don't know. Then it'd be worth helping the sweet little old lady and maybe hooking her up with an attorney or asking her, who was the attorney that handled when your husband passed? Can you call them? See if you can fix this the right way. But because of the disaster we're looking at here with the ball going around the room, that's one of your words. Now I picked up disaster. Anyway.
Tragedy.
That's right. And it's not that much money anyway. Your time, Jay, is worth so much more. I would say, and I hope you're in this group. Well, you are because you're in Discord. So if he wrote this in Discord?
No, this is from Land Investors.
Okay.
I don't think he is in the group.
Okay. Well, hopefully you're sending out a good amount of mail. If you're doing what we all do, you've got 3 more letters on your desk and 2 voicemails waiting for you. And one of those is going to be better than this one.
Here's the deal with probate. If the estate was probated, well, it wouldn't have been probated because the wife's still alive. But if it was if this woman there was no marriage and she passed away and her heirs got the stuff and the estate needed to be probated because the estate wasn't planned properly, and this is like a year later,
yeah,
you can add this asset onto the original probate for not a lot of money. Lawyer's probably going to charge you about $1,000 to do the whole thing. I know this from personal experience because my mom passed away and my sister and I 20 years ago are still finding assets that she owned.
Mm-hmm.
And we're still tacking stuff on. So that's a way to potentially solve the situation. But the good news is that joint tenants, JTROS, would have solved all of this. All she had to do was, if she owned the property, all she had to do was redeed it into her name and his name, John and Mary Smith, joint tenants with rights to survivorship. And the minute he died, she would own the property entirely.
Yeah,
that's the way to solve this.
This is also assuming that even though we say the aunt inherited it, did that even get transferred right? So we don't know for sure if the aunt got it the right way.
Jason, walk away from
There's
this.
too many. You know why? Here's how I can tell you too. Quick thing, Jason. If you find yourself spending more than a couple hours sitting here figuring this out for a property less than $1,000, then you need to move on.
Well, I'll tell you, here's an anecdotal
more than
story
an afternoon,
with a silver lining in it.
Not 2 days. Yeah.
Right when Jill and I joined forces, a guy called me and said, "You sold some property to my father 10 years ago to me." He said this to me. And I'm immediately like, "Oh, what happened?"
Yeah. Like always
he
mad.
Said, "My dad passed away and it turns out he collected property. He bought some from you. He bought some from a lot of people. And it's holding up our estate.
Right.
So I'm willing to give you all this property." It was tons of property too.
Mm-hmm.
If you can just please do all the paperwork, it's not complicated. It's in
undo the mess a little bit.
Yeah. And so Jill did.
Mm-hmm.
Jill and I did it. And it took, well, when I say Jill and I mean Jill.
Thanks. Truth time.
It took her a couple months to get it all straight, but man, we made
it was good.
$100,000 on that.
It was great. It was worth it. So that's the numbers I want you to spend time on. So, and I'm glad you asked, Jay. That was an excellent question.
Today's topic, self-discipline 101. This is why you're listening.
I'm already ready for a game.
All great. He's going to yell. Everybody's saying, "Great, Steve." No, go ahead and yell at us.
No, we should play a game first.
Yeah.
Let's rattle off. We'll go back and forth about self-discipline. Like you ask me one and I'll ask you one. Like, Steven, do you have self-discipline over exercise?
Yeah.
Okay.
On a scale of 1 to 10, it's about a 5, maybe a 6. 10 being the best. Do you?
Oh, over discipline? I need to work on I do. You know what? I'm making conscious decisions. I don't know if this is the right way to play the game. I was going to try to think of funny things to say about things that we know. How about this? Give me 3 things that you know that you don't have self-discipline on that you're working on.
Number 1, learning to play the guitar, which really makes me mad about myself.
Got it.
Number 2, I have very poor self-discipline because on tech projects. So like there's all kinds of stuff that I have to do. I kind of run Land Academy and Jill kind of runs all the land business in general. That's the case. It crosses over often. But in big part of the education line of business that we have is these freaking tech products like NeighborScoop,
Right.
that and offers to owners and all the tech, the website and tech components to all that. And I hate it. I hate it. It's just like pulling teeth with everybody.
Hmm.
So no, I have terrible self-discipline with that. And all my self-discipline, I hate talking on the phone. That's truth time. So I don't have good self-discipline about that.
Yeah.
I'm not that good at it anymore. I used to be great at it. I used to have a lot of patience and all kinds of stuff, but I met her and she does such a good job that it's just silly. Like she can do her own mailers too, but she doesn't because I do a better job at it, quite honestly, and I can do it and I like it.
Exactly. All right. My 3 are: number 1, I do need to up my game on exercise.
Yeah.
I need to be better at that. I know
Me
it's big.
too.
Number 2 is working on like content. I need to up my game there. I have 18 projects that I've half written that I need to finish, and I've got to up my game there. And you know what my 3rd one is? I'm not good at taking downtime. Like I'll be on the phone. I'll give up a Saturday night to answer the phone.
That's for sure.
Because it's fun for me. We had a discussion about this the other day about like, when are you thinking about retirement? And you're like, oh, I'm starting to think about it. And I'm like, that's so funny because I'm not at all. I'm still having so much fun. Like I love what we do. I love talking to sellers. I love talking to buyers. It's the silliest thing. But anyway, okay. So self-discipline 101.
Why do you?
Why do I?
Everybody wants to know this.
Oh,
because it's very, very unusual, I think.
Oh,
Because we did on our Thursday call last time, we did a poll. Are you the Jack or are you the Jill? Are you the data person or are you the salesperson? And probably 60%, 66%, 2/3 said they're the data people, the tech people. And the other, so.
Do you want to know why?
I really do want to know why. I've always wondered this and I mean it. This is truthful.
I'm a deal junkie when there's big numbers involved. If you had me in a sunglass hut, probably wouldn't be so excited. I could do it.
It's kind of attractive for some reason. Strange things are attractive when you get old. You working in a sunglasses hut.
Could you imagine?
Just walk up to you and ask you on a date.
Here's my new job at Sunglass Hut in the mall.
With the little dress on.
But you know what? I wouldn't do bad at that. See, I could be okay with it. But I would sell out of all the high end ones. Like, you're buying Gucci today. You're not buying those. That's how it would go. And that's the same with this. It's probably an illness.
Yeah, I'm sure it is. I have it too. I just don't want to talk on the phone about it.
I have a disorder that I need to buy great property very cheaply. And makes me happy.
I'm addicted to it.
And I don't care about the bank balance. I don't even look at the bank balance. This is what's so funny.
Me too.
You're like, what just happened? I'm like, I don't know. I'm not like paying attention.
Definition of
all I know is I got it for 10 grand. How great is that? So that's it. I don't know. I don't know what else to. So that's just really where it comes from. I mean, it's innate to me. It's a nature nurture. I was born with this condition.
It's interesting because in our past W-2 lives, scoring those deals was not part of it, really what I was doing.
Oh.
It was really talking on the phone and getting people to go in a direction. It was motivating them. I think you too. Like, I do
a little bit of both.
No, I think in your past W-2 life, there was no endorphin rush like that. Like, you weren't closing anything.
Right.
Well, maybe you were.
I was.
Actually, you were.
No, I was. And all my other things. It might have been even, selling things for a couple $1,000.
Okay. Here's the thing about self-discipline. It's not, you're not born with it or not born with it. You need to take some classes. You need to, there are boot camps out there for this kind of stuff that resemble the military boot camp. Every person I've ever met who's been in the military shines their shoes. Their house is neat. They speak in full sentences. I think the military is one of my biggest regrets, if not my biggest regret in life, is not joining the military and getting that experience. Because I just think that, it has nothing to do with shooting guns and everything to do with just becoming a citizen.
Yeah.
And doing the right thing and behaving, not like a criminal.
You don't behave like a criminal.
No, I know. And I never have, but I'm just saying, I think for most people, well, after raising 3 children, Jill and I together, people need
Direction.
they need to be kicked out of bed, and eventually they'll get out of bed themselves, but they need to be kicked out of bed in the morning. And they need to fail a few times before they act, and see how it feels before they can succeed at whatever.
Like being late to school and having to walk in the office and deal with it on their own, and then not wanting to do that.
So step
after
one,
a few times,
get yourself an Outlook account, Microsoft Outlook. If you're part of an organization like we are, get Microsoft 365, which gets everybody connected and their calendars all connected, and start scheduling out your day. You have to have a schedule, period. That's really that's the meat of this show. You absolutely have to have a schedule and you have to stick to it. And it takes all the mystery out of, wow, should I be doing this or not? What should I be working on right now? Jill and I, we don't do it so much anymore, schedule in our free time together. Like last night, we went out and celebrated a real estate deal, and it was all scheduled in the we stayed out too late, but
yeah, paying for it a little bit today. Won't go there.
That's how you get this started. And then you're either going to stick to it or you're not. And if you're not, then you just seek help elsewhere.
You know,
I'm really, really serious about this.
This is such a good topic. There's nothing wrong with you if you're not there. You just have to get yourself there. And I think that's what you're trying to say. And the easiest way to get yourself there is to schedule it out. It's very hard when you say, I'm brand new. This is great. I hear you guys. I'm going to get a mailer out this weekend. Okay, hold on, everyone.
Yeah.
There's a lot that goes into that. Let's not overwhelm ourselves. So as part of this process, I would say, great. The goal is to get a mailer out. What do we have to do that goes into it? Well, number 1, I got to pick a county. Number 2, I got to download and scrub the data. Number 3, I got to learn to price the mailer. Number 4, I got to get my stuff already pretty and send it to offers to owners to get it in the mail. And now you can sit back and say, I got it done. So you need to put those 4 steps in the calendar. Maybe Friday afternoon, maybe it's Friday night. Maybe you're staying home. This is your goal this weekend. There's not a lot of places to go still right now anyway, so this is not hard. So Friday night, you're picking a county. Saturday, you're downloading the data and scrubbing it. And then Sunday, you're pricing it. And Monday, you have it all pretty and sent off to the printer. That's it. And then let me follow up with this, please. So break it down into steps that are bite-sized for you. Maybe it's a 2-hour project. What if one of these is an 8-hour project? Then break it into 2-hour projects. Whatever you can do, put it on the calendar. And here's the hardest part. You have to force yourself to do it. You're going to be tired. It's going to be 8:00 at night. You're on the couch watching a movie. And you have to say, I need to do this. If I don't do this, I'm going to be pissed at myself tomorrow. I'm going to do this. And you know what? And we've done this. I've done this. So if you haven't done this, get uncomfortable and do it. You need to maybe 8:00 go, all right, I'm not going to watch a dumb movie. I'm going to get my computer out. And I'm going to sit here and pick a county and put some time into it.
First thing I do when I get a computer is take off all the games.
That's good.
There's been times in my life, now's not one of them, where I've unplugged the television, taken it off the wall and put it in the garage. And covered it and left it there for a year. You know, this happened. College is what changed me because I was a mess during there, like a lot of kids, you know. And I figured out that if I don't have a schedule, back then it was on paper, that I'm not going to get out. I won't graduate because there's way too much fun stuff to do in college versus study.
Totally. Oh my gosh, there's so much more fun stuff to do. Yeah. Yeah.
You know what else helps me is, especially like along the lines of like exercise. You know, if you can walk somewhere, walk. Don't. It might take longer, but if it's scheduled in, then that's fine. Instead of driving or whatever, work that stuff into your. Somebody told me a long time ago about exercise. They said, I don't exercise at all. This is somebody who's in perfect shape. I play. I go and play. I play racquetball. I ride bikes ride a bike with my friend. You know, it's a little bit more difficult in snowy weather, but there's gyms everywhere. So you can go play racquetball or basketball or any of that stuff with people.
And then I would like to end on this for me. If you're not doing it, this is what you need to have a conversation with yourself. you're like, okay, this is great. I got all the 2 things. I just can't get it there. Well, for some reason, you're not motivated. And you need to sit down and have a talk with yourself and decide what it's going to take to get you motivated and to follow through.
I've said this a million times in the air. I'll say it again. I have some really expensive guitars that I will never learn how to play. And it's just for exactly what Jill's saying. There's something stopping me. I'm not sure what it is. It's not lack of interest. I just don't do it. I'm not disciplined enough to do it with that specific thing.
You're not excited about it. And that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
That, so you need to make a decision. You're either going to do it or you're going to cut it off and do something else.
Yeah.
So,
but do something.
Do something. That's true. And this isn't for everybody. And I totally understand that. That's okay. But if it is, that's how you get there.
You're not a criminal.
Oh,
where did that come from?
I didn't say that. No, just kidding. Okay. You said something about being a criminal or act like a criminal. And I'm like, this is very interesting. I'm like, what does that mean? I'm just kidding. Happy you could join us today. 5 days a week. You can find us right here on the Land Academy Show.
Tomorrow, the episode on the Land Academy Show is called A Breakdown of How to Hire Staff. You are not alone in your real estate ambition.
You are picking all the hot topics.
This was
it's a huge
loud
topic.
request from our customer service people. They know we record on Thursday, so on Wednesday afternoon or Thursday morning, they email me stuff like, "Can you please talk about?" Because they get a lot of questions on it.
Yeah, we did this in my Land Academy ladies group. We had a week scheduled that we talked about this, and it went into 2 weeks because we had so much to
good.
talk
Then you
about.
can carry the show then tomorrow.
Oh, thanks. Hey, if you're interested in learning more about us or what we do, check out landacademy.com or houseacademy.com. We provide the education, tools, and support you need to be flipping property like the pros. We're Steve and Jill.
Information
and inspiration
to buy undervalued property.
Thanks for tuning in. We hope you find our content valuable, and we really do appreciate your support. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button and give us feedback on the shows you love.
You are not alone in your real estate ambition.